Hey y'all, it's Lauren. Welcome back to the Chicks and Dip podcast. I've got a super fun guest for y'all today. We are talking all about fitness. But before we get into that, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I myself have been thinking about over chips and dip. First of all, something happened actually like today. So I haven't even actually had time to enjoy some chips and dip about this one, but this is like an urgent thing I need to tell you guys. I was sitting at my desk doing some work and I heard like a clanging around. And it was coming from our like extra room that is like my closet and like Cameron's office space. So I go in there and Mr. Kim is halfway out the window. Like first of all, I live on the second floor of an apartment. And this is not like a window to a balcony. This is the window that just drops down to the front yard on the second floor. And he has squeezed his fat butt like underneath the window seal. And like I've got like those old heavy windows. Like the house I live in was built in like 1930 or something. So it's those old ones that have like the ropes that you have to pull. And so he is just trapped. Half of his body is out and half of his body, like his butt, is still in the house, and he's like trying to wiggle out from underneath it. Cameron's asleep, and so I just like don't even know what to do. Like I don't want him to get spooked and fall, you know, and I'm like, help! I'm like, Cameron! I just start screaming, and I just put my arms out there, and I like with my one hand, he's so big that I couldn't like lift the window and scoop him in. I had to have two hands on him, and so I was just squeezing his front half of his body against the window. Like that's the only way that he could go. So I'm just squishing him against the window so he doesn't fall off the edge of the house. And I'm like freaking out, calling Cameron. So finally he runs in there and lifts the window up, and me and Cameron like fall back into the floor. It was so dramatic. But I started to think about it, and I was talking to Cameron like, we just got back from being out of town, and like I haven't opened a window. He says that he hasn't opened a window. So unless he's like messing with me, I don't want to say Kim opened the window because that seems crazy, but I think that Kim somehow opened the window like with his paw. It was unlocked, but it's still heavy. But I think that maybe he, you know, cats are amazing. I feel like maybe he like wiggled his claw underneath there and like, you know, got it bumped up and just threw it. I don't know. I don't know. He's a strong cat. He's stronger than he looks. But I'm just so confused on how he even got the window open. It was so scary, and he's fine, but he's just been like trying to escape lately, and I don't understand because he has like a really nice life. You know, he lives the dream. I like change his litter literally every single day. I feed him every single day. I snuggle him every single day, and he has like a whole basket of toys that he loves to play with and sit on. Like he has like the dream life. So I don't know why he's trying to jump out the second floor window. Jeez. Anyway, he's okay. I'll keep y'all updated. And I'll like maybe this week for a visual aid, I'll like just share a cute pic of him. There you go. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to tell you all about is actually something, Katie, I haven't even told you this. I don't really pay attention to things that people say about me. You know, like it comes with the territory of trying to be on the internet, you know, and having a podcast. Like people talk shit. That's fine. But something that like made me it just tickled me was something that someone said in real life to a person that I am friends with. So of course they immediately told me. Someone said something about my style. And y'all know like fashion and style is like my number one. Like I'm not out here saying, you know, like I'm a fashion designer. No, that's not it. But I use this to express myself, and I'm very vocal about that. So I took this one a little personally. Some bitch goes, sequins are not even in. First of all, sequins are in if I say they're in, okay? Okay? If I want sequins to be in, they will be in for me. Second of all, my like entire closet, like when am I not wearing sequins? Today is a rare occasion. There's not, actually, I do have on giant like bedazzly earrings. So really that's almost sequin. You know, it's sequin adjacent. But like I was just so shook. Who doesn't like sequins? Ew, what is wrong with you? Who doesn't like sequins? And you know, I really like I had like a whole bit about what kind of clothes this person wears. But I'm not gonna do that, you know, I'm gonna be nice. because that's her personal style. Her personal style is crop tops that were made for 8-year-olds. But I personally prefer to wear sequins. No, y'all, this person like literally doesn't even listen to the show. Like it's, you know, I'm not out here like roasting somebody like that and being mean. I'm not. But it just kind of tickled me, you know, and every now and then you've just got to acknowledge the haters and just laugh, you know, and remember, whether it be your fashion, whether it be your hair, your art, whatever you're expressing yourself with, don't worry about what people say about it because it's your thing, you know? That's my message today. You don't have to be in. You don't have to be trendy. It's how you express yourself. So if sequins are in, for me, bitch, they're in. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up that intro before I get myself worked up. Before we get into it with our guest, I do want to thank Neutral. Thank you so much to Neutral for supporting the Chicks and Dip podcast. On the set today, I've got lemonade again. I've got blackberry lemonade and I have strawberry lemonade. And y'all, I mean, I just can't keep hyping the Neutral enough. This past weekend, I was in Starkville. I talked about that on the last episode. But I was in Starkville and my friends, they were all coming up to me and they're like, Lauren, like there's a Neutral special at the bar. Be honest. Like I know that they sponsor your show, but be honest with me. Is it good? And I'm like, yes. Like I'm not lying to you. It's not like that. I genuinely recommend these to my friends and they all got them and they loved them. And you know, I'll tell you my favorite flavors. I do love the blackberry lemonade and I've hyped up this cranberry so much. The cran apple is my current fave. I'm obsessed with it. So y'all check it out. And thank you so much to Neutral for supporting the Chicks and Dip podcast. And so without rambling too much, we can go ahead and get into it with our guest. I'm going to introduce her, and we're going to talk about just fitness and taking care of yourself and moving your body and doing what feels good for you. So let's get into it with Bree. Okay, y'all, I am here with Breigh Han. She has 10 years of experience in fitness. Welcome to the pod.
Thanks.
I'm so
happy to be here.
I know. I feel like this one has been a long time coming.
It's been, I feel like it's kind of been brewing.
Right?
Yeah, since we met. Yeah.
Bree is a friend of Katie and Calvin's. And so whenever we were, you know, like trying to find some potential guests, I've had this fitness idea for a while. And I was like, oh, we know somebody.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's always we know somebody in our world.
I know. Okay. So to start, tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get into fitness? What do you currently do? All of it.
Okay. So I got into fitness. Really funny story. I got into fitness because I wanted to kiteboard, and the only kiteboarders I ever saw on Tybee were old men.
What?
There was never any girls. There was never anything. It was all men. So I was like, oh, I can do this. You know, I totally do this. So I was working out on Tybee. That's kind of how I got into that. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to start taking lessons with the AOK boys. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Yeah, you kind of need a little bit of strength to do that.
I'm like, that sounds really hard.
Just a little bit. So I was like, oh God. All right. So I was doing all right. I wasn't terrible at it. You know, you're always, when you're new at something, you're not good at it. So it just is one of those things. Like you never, you know, you're just not, it's just not one of those things. So it was a lot of fun. I found Pure Barre. Which is a bar group fitness. It had just opened. And one of my girlfriends, she's Hawaiian, so she's a little surfer chick and a little skateboarder. And she was like, this is you. This is all you. This is the core strength you're looking for. This is what, you know, this is you. So come try it. I hated the first class. I loved it at the end, but I hated it while I was going through it because I was like, we don't move like this.
That's what, like, what did you hate? Like, it was hard?
Your body just is like, it was hard.
Yeah.
And like, everybody's like, oh, bar. It's like, no. No. There's much more entailed there.
I've heard bar is like you unlock like muscles you didn't know you had.
Yes. And muscles that aren't even real. That's what I think. I'm like, that's not a muscle. I'm pretty sure I don't know what that is. That hurts. So yeah, I started and I was probably taking bar classes 3 times a week, I was doing that for about 3 months, and they were like, you need to be an instructor. So it was kind of like one of those, like, I got invited to be an instructor. So I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to nail this.
Totally.
Yeah. So I jumped right in, and that was December, 10 years ago. So that's kind of wild. I currently still teach bar. I also have continued to educate myself in the fitness world. I also do Pilates and just basic body weight strength training and private training. I've been doing private personal training for about 7 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll say it's the third longest relationship of my life.
I love it. So did it cross your mind ever that you were going to be a fitness instructor? Like whenever you were younger, would you have ever guessed?
No, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a waitress.
Really? Wait, that's amazing.
I fulfilled that dream
I was going to ask.
over and over again, many times. Yeah, my career was hospitality.
Wow.
I was fully just enveloped in the food and beverage world, and I loved it, and I thrive in it, and I miss it, but I don't miss it. It just is one of those. It's one of those things, and it's you got to be passionate about it to put in the time and effort, you know, that I did. And even still teaching Pure Barre, I still worked in a restaurant. You know, I was still managing and bartending and serving, whatever the needs were, you know, that shift. That's what I did. So it was just, yeah, I've always been active as a kid, cheerleading, always playing outside, always doing sports, stuff like that. But I mean, I never saw myself like, I'm going to be a yoga teacher, or I'm going to be, you know, in the fitness realm or anything like that. It was just kind of like one of those love things that you didn't know that you had until you got into it.
So I want to touch on, since you just said like cheerleading and sports and stuff. I was in gymnastics and cheerleading too, and my sister did sports. And something that I thought was really weird, which I think happens to a lot of people, is like once you stop doing your sports, like I realized I had never actually worked out like because I needed to work out and because I made a choice. It was like conditioning for my sports.
There was a reason for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was just like a really weird thing. So I had no fitness routine for like 2 years whenever I got done with sports. And, you know, you don't realize the toll that it'll take on your body to just suddenly stop exercising. I like discovered alcohol and Panda Express in the same 2 years that I stopped exercise. I was like, oh shit. And so,
that's definite.
It was crazy. And so like, that's a long story, but there might be some people who are listening who currently don't have like any kind of fitness routine, whether they have that background or not. What advice do you have for people who want to get started?
Do it. I mean, the biggest, you are in control. You possess all the power of your will and your motivation. I mean, having a partner, having a buddy, having that accountability next to you does help. However, it's all in your mind, and it's something you have to say, I want to do this, and you have to go do it, because saying I'm going to do it tomorrow doesn't make it happen. So I've always been a woman of action. I don't, if it comes out of my mouth and I say I'm going to do it, it's done. Like it will be done. Sometimes it's not pretty. And that's the great thing about fitness, is sometimes it's not pretty.
Yeah.
You know, the start is not always glamorous. It's really not. I mean, just like going back to me talking about taking my first class, I was like, what? It was not pretty. I mean, I'm pretty sure I grunt and rolled around and sounded like a bear on the ground.
And now you're teaching the place.
And now I'm like coaching you through, 50 minutes of whatever class you're taking. So yeah, it's just one of those transitions.
Yeah.
So I just think that the biggest thing is your own your own self. Like it's in your mind. If it's in your head and it's in your heart, then you have to physically make yourself do it.
Mm-hmm. And I think like I always hear people being like, oh, like I don't want to do this because I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I just think it's so important to remember exactly what you just said. Like no one knows what they're doing and no one is capable of doing the stuff that you see people doing in the gym on their first day. And like, also, no one cares about you as much as you think they do. Like no one is watching you on your first day at the gym. No one cares.
Yes. We're not like, that is so true. I mean, of course, there's the random straggling creep that's somewhere in some gym.
Someone's being weird.
Someone's being weird. But it's not, nobody's looking at you. Nobody's watching you and going, oh God, she's doing that curl wrong. Or like, that's not, no, And that's why I think you just gotta do it. Mm-hmm. And to me, there's no excuse as to why you aren't doing it, because I mean, you can Google ab workout and find 3,000 things about your abs, and there's videos, free videos, so it's just like, to me, there's no excuse.
Yeah. There's not a lack of resources. That's for sure.
Nope.
And so, okay, as far as different things that people can do, what do you think the benefits are of a group class, and what do you think the benefits are of doing like your own thing? I know it's like probably more of a personal taste thing, but do you think there are benefits?
It is. I find myself going back and forth from just doing me and then really just like craving that like class energy.
Yeah.
Group fitness is fantastic because you've got the energy in the room. You've got a semi-personal trainer. They are paying attention to you. They are there to help you, coach you, correct you, challenge you, those kinds of things. And then you also kind of have your accountability partner, whether you know the girl next to you or the guy next to you or not, no matter what, that person is dying right beside you.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't really think I was a competitive person until I got into Orange Theory. Oh, and then they would do those, little benchmark challenges once a month or something. And it's like, I was just there to, get through the class for the first year. But once I started to see improvement in myself, I was like, oh, I'm going to beat my last time. And then I got to be like, oh, I'm going to beat the girl next to me.
There you go.
I'm going to smoke her.
I'm getting that I'm going to be at the top of the board.
He unlocked something fun.
It does.
Not in a mean way, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think it's the community. And that's that community the community vibe, that feel, and then the competitiveness. We're not like that in Pure Barre. It's not competitive like that. But I love that because I mean, going back to being, cheerleading, that's a competitive sport, especially if you actually did compete, that's one of those things is I always say, if you were starting out and you want to start and you have no idea where to go, find something that brings you joy, some kind of movement that brings you joy. Maybe it's dance. Maybe it is weightlifting. Maybe it's just walking around the park. But start small and graduate and grow. I think that's the best way to kind of tackle fitness, is to be real with yourself, because no matter what stage you're at in your life, it's going to take 8 to 10 sessions consecutively, not 8 to 10 sessions over 2 months. This has to be a routine. And then you're going to see results. And then, 2-3 weeks after that, people are going to see results. And then a month after that, you're going to be in a habit and you're going to see even more results. And it's going to be a huge change for you. And that's motivation for me.
Yeah.
I got into fitness because A, I wanted to be strong and kiteboard with the boys, and B, I wanted to look good naked.
Yes.
Right?
Who doesn't?
Leave the lights on.
Katie's behind the camera going, oh, Jesus. Yes. I mean, that's so true, though. And exactly what you said about once you see a little change in your body, whatever your goal is with that, I feel like that's when it gets addicting and you get excited. You don't have to force yourself to exercise anymore. You're like ready to do it.
Right. And exercise shouldn't be, how do I want to say this? Exercise shouldn't be like a reward or a punishment. There shouldn't be the balance between I'm going to chow down on this cheese dip because I'm going to go run 5 miles. Or I just ran 12 miles so I can have a whole enchilada. Like, that's the wrong mentality to have. It's not a healthy mentality to have. I shouldn't say it's wrong. You do you. But it's not healthy. Food should be fuel, not reward. And exercise should be fun, not punishment. So it's just like, find something you love.
Yep. That's
Make
a
it fun.
mindset that I think a lot of people have. I mean, I know so many people who do that, you know, and it's like kind of funny, you know, whenever you see someone from the gym, like at a bar or something, they're like, oh, gonna work this off tomorrow. And it's like, okay, but like, how many times have you said that joke? And like, do you actually think that way? You know, it's like, I think a lot of people think that way.
Yeah. I think the casual is like, I can do this. Yeah. I'll have that extra. That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't make that like your rule of thumb. Like, I just think that that's where mainstream media and things like that kind of have groomed us to like think and feel that way.
Yeah.
Is to count calories. You can only eat a cupcake if you did a half marathon.
Right. If you burned 550 calories in your class today, like, no. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And not to just like keep bringing up my own fitness journey, but I really do like what you said about finding something that brings you joy, because whenever I realized that, okay, I need to learn how to exercise, like after those couple years of not doing anything, I didn't know where to start. And I tried to just walk into like the gym on campus, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Like, I need someone to tell me what to do. And like, I would just go walk on the treadmill.
It's intimidating, right?
Right. And at least I was there trying, but like, it wasn't making me happy. It was stressing me out more than anything.
Yeah.
And so I didn't ever expect to be into it, but I found kickboxing. And
great workout.
Oh my gosh. The way
therapeutic too.
Just all the stress like leaving my body every time I would hit the bag, but also like it just made me feel cool. You know?
You feel like a badass.
That was the best intro for me, because it made me feel like a badass. And so then I was feeling all confident all the time. And
good.
From there, like I'm doing things like I would have never, ever thought that I would enjoy running. And I actually like running is a part of my routine, and I really love that now. And I think that if I had tried to dive headfirst into running and force myself through hating it, then I wouldn't have stuck with it. Like, I think it was important for me to find something that I liked to like get, you know, me used to cardio, period. You know what I mean?
That's a valid point. And if you try something and you don't like it, don't keep doing it, because it's not going to work.
No. It might get
not
a little easier,
work.
but you'll still hate it probably.
Yeah. It's just not going to work. You're not going to get what you want. Like, and if you have a specific goal, you're not going to achieve that goal or even exceed it if you're doing something that doesn't bring you joy.
Yes, I love this advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much? I have two kind of sciencey questions.
Okay.
How much exercise do we need to be getting every day?
There's a couple of answers here.
Love it.
There's no wrong answer. American Heart Association says 30 minutes a day.
Okay.
30 minutes, physical activity, elevated heart rate. That's all you need. That's it. CDC, which we all know has questionable advice.
Grain of salt.
They say you need 30 minutes a day plus an additional 2 days of strength training for your muscles. Okay, cool. Yeah. That makes sense. I like that. My rule of thumb is everybody is different. And everybody's journey and fitness idea is different. You know, it is going to be what you are going to like to do isn't necessarily going to be what I like to do. And this goes back to like that group fitness versus the solo. In the group fitness, you kind of have to stay on a pace and a rhythm, and you kind of have to keep up with the class. But if you're walking in and you have your own routine, you have your own thing, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can go as heavy, as hard as you want. You can go as gentle as you want. You know, like you can stretch as much as you want. You can work as hard as you want. It's you. Like you're the controller. Like you've got the power to do what it is that you want to do. So I say 30 minutes a day. For me, I'm probably a good solid 2 hours of physical activity. And then I get to chase little ones. So then there's my cardio. But yeah, I think, 30 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be anything. It's just elevated heart rate, 30 minutes on a walk. Go for a 30-minute walk. Walk the dog. Walk your cat. People do that.
We haven't recorded the intro yet, but I have a wildcat story, so I'm glad that you said that.
Oh,
you'll hear it. Good. Crazy. So, okay, my second sciencey question. What happens to your brain whenever you exercise? Is it serotonin?
Oh, yeah. There's lots of things. Cortisol levels, serotonin, endorphins. We all know the L Woods, Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't kill people. Yeah. It's the truth. It's totally the truth.
Well, that's what I know how exercise makes me feel, but like that's like science shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, it will boost you up.
It's chemicals. Yeah. Yeah. And also, if you're doing the right things and you're doing the right things at night, it can also help with your melatonin levels and help you sleep better, So there's a lot more benefits than just looking good naked.
Yep. That's the biggest one. Sorry.
There's head and heart, there's those things too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun. Lots of things happen in your brain, with your heart, just head to toe.
Mm-hmm. I will be in the worst mood. And, it's always whenever I'm in a bad mood that I do have to look at myself in the mirror and be like, don't be a bitch. Go to the gym. You said you were going to do it. And that rarely happens. Like it's a part of my routine, so it's okay. But whenever it does happen, I always leave and I'm like, yes,
and you crush it. Don't
yes.
You? Yeah.
Chipper. And I'm ready to call my parents and tell them about my day. You know, it's great.
Right. Yes.
I love it.
Hug a baby.
Exactly. So I kind of wanted to get into specific fitness goals. Obviously, there's so many, but I kind of crowdsourced for, some of the more popular ones. So what do you recommend? I guess we'll just go through the list. What do you recommend for people who just say, I want to lose weight, period?
Okay.
This one's tough.
This is food. You want to lose weight? It starts with food.
Yeah.
You need to have a healthy relationship with food, though. Mm-hmm. Just like you can marry in a toxic relationship, but it's not going to be pretty. But you need to have a healthy relationship with food. And this goes back to saying, food's not a reward. Food is fuel. Mm-hmm. Eating the right things and being mindful of that is, and eating things that you like are going to be your biggest thing. I'm not crazy big on diets. I never have been. I don't like to say the word fat. I think fat's a terrible word because it just has so much negative connotation that us as women and even young girls and even little boys, I watch my son say stuff like this and I'm like, we don't say, that's the bad F word. I'd rather you say fuck. We're not saying fat.
That's awesome.
Oh, and he will.
That's amazing.
But I just, I was heavier. I weighed almost 160 pounds at one point in my life. And I ate fried chicken and mashed potatoes every day and corn casserole. I mean, I lived in the middle of nowhere with my grandparents. And I worked at this little beauty salon that was attached to a little cafe called the Dinner Bell, if that tells you anything.
Oh, baby.
I mean, biscuits and gravy and, all the fixins and the trimmings and everything Southern. I went there 120 pounds. I came home 160 pounds. So it is. It's food. So losing weight, I would say change your diet. Find something that works for you. But if you're going to change your diet, it needs to be your lifestyle. It doesn't need to be, I'm going to be keto, I'm going to drop this, and then I'm done. Once I get to my point that I like and I'm happy, I'm going to go back to my old ways, because guess what? All of that is going to come right back to you. So this goes back to the mindset. You have to make it a life. You have to make a lifestyle change. You have to make it for you and no one else. It can't be for your partner. It can't be for your mom. It has to be for you. You know, what's your why? I'm my why. Because I want to live long. I want to be healthy. I want to, you know, continue to move without pain and look good naked.
And look good naked. Should that be the episode title? I think it really should be Look Good Naked with Bree. I love this.
Oh,
Maybe not.
no, I'm down. I'm down. Just eager to see what it attracts. I'm kidding.
So, more fitness goals that people submitted. What do you recommend for people, which, I mean, I guess this is similar to losing weight, but people who want to appear more toned and muscular and cut?
So toning, this is where the weightlifting world gets a little blurry. The lines get blurry here because it's going to go back to what weightlifting for you looks like is not going to look like the same for me. Everybody is different. So lengthening, strengthening, and toning are all things that are going to come. They have to be incorporated with stretching. Without stretching, you're just going to have bulky muscles. Not always. You know, some people's muscle tone is different, and it is a longer, like taller people are going to have longer muscles. Yeah. Shorter people are going to have shorter, more dense muscles. So when you're working major muscle groups, it's just going to, it's going to feel different. You're going to have to find positions and routines that elongate. And instead of shortening and contracting the muscle and making it big, you want to stretch it out. You want to make it long. So think of lengthening if you want more toned, lean, you know, body mass. Yeah. So light weights, form heavy. What that means is it's not about the amount of weight that you're pushing or the amount of weight that you're lifting. It's about the proper reps that you're doing. Your body's going to respond to repetition. So the more you do it, the stronger your muscle memory, the longer, leaner you're going to be. Yeah. So lighter weights, better form, higher reps. Man. Which is the opposite of bodybuilding. Heavy weights, short reps. There's some form to it, but it's really just about the explosive dynamics of getting that. Beating yesterday's weight. Yeah. Adding another 15-pound plate to it. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, lengthening and strengthening, they kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, I think toned muscles are beautiful in women. And I think they're beautiful in men too. Just kind of depends on your body type. Yeah. Because if you're going to have more of that gymnast body type, it's going to be harder for you to lengthen those muscles out because they're so used to short, dynamic, explosive movements. So it's going to be harder for you. Yep.
And I'm already pretty short anyway, so I would always see like these supermodels, and they're like doing yoga. And I'm like, maybe if I do some yoga, like I'll look taller and leaner. Is that real?
Well, because you're going to elongate. You're not just going to elongate the muscle. You're going to elongate your spine. So you definitely you're going to sit up taller. You're going to stand taller, so it's all, yeah. It is a thing.
I mean, it's really amazing. And I love, like everybody, I feel like the big booty has been a trend for a while.
Oh, it is a trend.
I don't have that, and I wanted it so bad. And to see, I have friends who like made it their mission to grow a butt, and they put that on Instagram. That takes a lot of work, like to completely change like something about you that you don't.
How long has it taken them? Year, 2 years?
Yeah, like probably about 2 years. Yeah, for the ones I'm thinking.
Realistically.
About. Yeah, and they talk about
without surgery.
Right.
They did it naturally.
Yep, and they talk about how much you have to actually eat. And the weightlifting is the key, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, I remember whenever I was about 15, I was like, I want a bigger butt. And I was doing like little fire hydrants in my living room all night, you know, thinking I was just going to sprout one overnight.
Funny story though. I never had a butt ever. My dad used to pick on me so hard. He would say, Bree, you look like a bent rake handle. I was just knobby and tiny and just like this little twig. I mean, Katie and Calvin they can attest to this. This is all truth. But feisty.
Feisty twig.
Yeah. Yeah. Fire. Dynamite. Think dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dynamite stick. I like it.
Yeah. But I mean, and I'll say it's taken me about a good 4 years to actually get, I call it my peach. I got a good little peach.
She's not crazy, but she's cute.
Yeah. Yeah. She's soft, so squishy, but still firm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not flat anymore.
I'm telling you, I don't even specifically work on my butt, but just like, you know, doing a little bit of tread work with like incline and doing more weighted activities. I've noticed, I'm like, all right, just a little perk makes all the difference. It's great.
But even just putting weights on your ankles and going for a walk is going to change that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Weights on your ankles, knee lifts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fire hydrants, donkey kicks.
I mean, that's easy.
All the fun things. Those are easy things you can do in your living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you recommend? I know this will be different for everyone, but what is something if someone is like, I need to get rid of some stress, so I'm going to start exercising? What do you think the most common stress relieving exercises are?
I'm going to say something a little bit more high impact. I personally enjoy when I need to really just blow off the steam and just really just go for it. Mm-hmm. Kickboxing. Yeah. Just smash something. I mean, if you've got the resources, go outside and swing an axe. Like, that is a fantastic workout. Not only it's so rewarding, stress relieving. But in the real world, going to the gym. So something that you can, kick, punch, do something that you don't normally do. If you're really stressed out, do something you don't normally do. Do something outside of your routine. If your routine is, at the gym is a run, weights, and then maybe some legs, and then maybe some abs, do something different. Break it up. Break up your routine. Put something right there in the middle that's going to really do something just go into a private room and do a dance, find something cardio. You can find dance style, anything on YouTube right now. I mean, yeah.
I love that. I can picture the way that I would have to concentrate on something new would remove, I wouldn't be able to have the downtime of worrying about what I'm stressed out about, Yeah. It would take all of me to do something new.
Yeah. One thing I love to do is when I'm stressed out is I like to, you're going to laugh. This is so funny, but learn artist choreographed songs.
Really?
Bruno Mars has the best choreographed music ever. Yeah. Paula Abdul was my true love. So, 2 steps forward, girls. I got it.
Wait, that's amazing.
Salt and Peppa, Push It. Yes. All of these choreographed dance. It's fantastic. Not only that, you find yourself laughing because you're wait, what?
What am I doing?
Kick
also good
what?
For brain.
It's yes. See? Yeah.
I love it.
So do something outside of your routine if you're really stressed. Another great way, stress relieving, stretching.
Yeah.
And just knowing just to stretch properly, just start at your legs, stretch, and then work up and up to your arms, or start at your arms and then work down. Mm-hmm. Just start at one part of the body, dial in, focus, clear your mind, breathing with your stress, breathing through your stretches, connecting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does help.
Stretching that was always the thing I didn't want to do, And now as an adult, I feel it if I don't stretch. So like I force myself. But I remember like whenever I was just like young and flexible and could like do a backflip, I'd be like, I don't need to stretch. I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I need a good hour warm up before I do a backflip right now.
I couldn't even do a backflip. There was some point. Sorry, this is like off
And
the
can
rails.
we get a trampoline on that too?
That's what I was going to bring up. There was some point in college whenever I could get on a trampoline and do a backflip. And then there was like one day that I got on it and I was like, I don't know if I can still do this. And like, I haven't done one since. And I'm like so mad at myself for not just like.
Oh girl, that's just the fear of becoming an adult.
Right? When do you cross over into being
You
scared
wake
of a
up
trampoline?
one day and you're scared of the trampoline. That's just how it goes.
I don't know when it happened and I wish I could pinpoint
I know I know. I was the same way. Same way.
One time, whenever I was in high school, my sister's boyfriend's mom had like taken us up. I was like trying out for cheer practice or something, and so we all got in the car and like I was gonna go on the football field and like practice some stuff, and she had to pick up her kid or something anyway. But we're on the football field at our high school, right? And the mom is like, Lauren, I think that I could still do a round off back handspring, and I'm like, really? I'm like,
yeah, girl.
I don't know. I'm like 14.
I don't know any other moms that can do that.
I don't know enough to say maybe don't do that because I'm only 14. She throws it, breaks her wrist immediately right in front of us. We were all like, huh, oh my God. She's like, yep, that's broken. She like went straight to the hospital and like was in a cast. And I was like, Rachel, like, tell your boyfriend I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to like provoke his mom into doing it.
I don't think that was all her. I don't think that was you.
I felt so bad. And then I'm just like thinking like if I just did a back handspring and broke something, I would be like, kill me. Like
warm up before you do one.
right, stretch
Just
it out.
get a little warm up. Move around a minute.
Anyway, okay, I had another science question that like I just remembered whenever you were talking about like stress and stuff. Something that happens to me, and I don't know if this happens to other people, but I think it must. Whenever I do something like extremely physically challenging, like after I ran like my first half marathon or like after, like I just really go hard at something, I feel like a surge of tears, like I could like actually start crying.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
That's normal though? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not crying for a reason, but it's just
No,
like this overwhelming.
I think we're just emotional creatures, and that's just some of us just express it with tears. Some of it laughter. I mean, you hear like nervous laughter and stuff like that. It might be nervous tears. I don't know. There's got to be a science behind it, though.
I want to like find somebody who like has done a study on it.
There's
because
probably definitely some psychology and some chemical release there of some sort, which it could be. So this goes to talk about more science, where when you really go hard on something, no matter where you are in your life, your body holds trauma. It stores it. Like core memories, like your body stores trauma. I find myself when I'm in those moments, and I've gone really hard, it was because I was really stressed, or there was something that pushed me towards that like beast mode, and physically just crush it. And then I think it's the release. If I had to say without knowing, I would say it's a release of just past trauma, and your body needed to expel it. And that's how you expel it. That's how it releases for you. I have a hard time like arguing with people because I get so emotional that I end up crying. So I could be way more powerful if I would just stop crying.
If I could manage these tears.
If I could manage them, but like mess with my best friend or mess with my family or anything like that, and I am like, but hurt me is different.
Yeah.
And that's where I struggle. Like mess with my best friend, no, there won't be tears coming out of me. I will not. I will straight up just fight you.
I know you will.
I just will. That's just me. I've always been this way. But like for me, past trauma, you hold on to it, and it just, not everybody can heal and process without therapy. Some of us need therapy. Some of us need medication, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's taking care of yourself and giving your body what you need to be able to heal. So it could be it's a healing process. That's what that's my only logical thing is, you needed to release that.
Yeah, that feels right, because I mean, of course I give effort every time I exercise, but I think that you're right in that whenever I'm like really going hard enough to like the point where I'm like about to throw up, there's like a deeper meaning there. And that's the only times that I felt like literally, why am I about to cry right now?
Cry, do it, girl. I mean, it's like, just let it go.
Look, the first time it ever happened, I had just like run a mile for time and I got done and got out to my car and I was like, I am feeling weird. And I just
And did you, but did you beat?
Well, yeah, I did. I PR'd and like I knew it was like one of those things where there was like,
right,
like barely any distance left, and I knew I was ahead by like 30
So that's
seconds.
like
It was like I was proud,
it's like
maybe?
a joy. Yeah, that's pride and joy.
Yeah.
But it also could be a release of like someone in your past saying you can't do something.
The ex that I told y'all about that told me I was a slow runner. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep. I had one of those told me I couldn't kiteboard.
Hell no.
I've been to like all kinds of places kiteboarding. So
See? I want to see you kiteboard. That's amazing.
I need my kids to they need a sitter and I need some wind. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we can work on the sitter.
And I'm kind of a brat these days. I don't really want to put on a wetsuit. So the winter probably isn't going to happen for me.
Okay. All right. Look, springtime. Let's go. Let's take a trip.
Summer's better.
Summer. Okay.
Yeah. South winds, back river. It's perfect.
Yes. Okay, I have another question that I've kind of been like toying with. Sometimes I do feel I've been doing my same fitness routine. It's pretty much just Orange Theory with outdoor run.
Okay.
I've been doing that for like 3 years. And sometimes I kind of feel like I'm at a stagnant place. And so I wanted to know, like, is that something where like I just need to buckle down and give more effort? Or is it a good idea to kind of mix up your fitness routine every couple years?
Absolutely. Cross training is your body needs it.
Yeah.
Your body needs cross training. Your body needs to do something different. You need to be new at something every so often. And even if it's not a regular routine thing, it needs to be like once a week, once a month. Mm-hmm. Do something different. But make sure that it brings you joy. But like, think about something different that you like to do. So Orange Theory is interval and cardio, and it's, you're pushing PRs and you're doing, it's high impact. Mm-hmm. So what I think is going to work best for the general public, like just as a blanket, is to do something opposite. Mm-hmm. So if you're high intensity and, high impact and interval, do something that's going to complement that. Do low impact, slow twitch muscles, yoga.
My mom is
Pilates.
Always telling me I should do yoga.
Pilates and yoga, because there's more mindfulness to that. You have to use your brain and your body. Mm-hmm. Because if those two aren't synced and moving together and focused, then you're going to hurt yourself. And you're not going to get anything out of it. It's not going to work. So slowing something down, if you're used to that high interval, that running, the heavy weightlifting, stuff like that. A lot of heavy weightlifters, they don't stretch. So I would say if you really want to change things up and see a different result somewhere, stretch after you lift. Mm-hmm. And most people are like, oh, no.
No, I'm so glad that you said that. Like, I feel like I have homework now. Because, I do feel like that. It's like, I can only... And whenever I start to feel stagnant, it's in both a mental and a physical way. Like, I noticed a lot of change in my body that I liked in, like, years 1 and 2. And it's just kind of been the same. Like, it's fine. But, like, it's not... I don't really notice as
But you
much.
haven't seen any more gains from that.
And then mentally, I kind of feel like I go through the motions a little bit. So
Yeah.
I feel like
And you do probably
Yeah.
because you know what's coming next and you know where your next section is going to be. You know what your next round is going to look like. You kind of can anticipate what the coach is going to say, you know, those kinds of cues, which goes back to us as coaches. Like, we got to be fresh for you guys too, because if I say, you know, you're stronger than you think every single time you take my class, you're going to be like, bitch, I'm about to strong punch you in the face. Not today. You know, there's going to be a point where you're like, not today.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And like you say that every day. So, and that's one thing is I have never taught the same thing twice. And if I have, it was the same format and it was the hour right after. But my cues either got better and my motivation cues for you might have gotten stronger, or it just might have been a little bit more informative, you know, like really hone in on your glute muscle. You know, where is that? Okay, well, that's your butt. So like really think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your oblique? It's right here. Yeah.
Where are my obliques? I love that you said that. And I don't think that someone wants the informative every day, but mixing it up, like whenever I have heard a coach like say, in this exercise, think about these muscles and here's why and whatever, like, oh my gosh, that helps so much. It
does.
just like activates your brain.
Yeah.
So you're not just going through the motions. I love that.
Yeah. And when you go through the motions, I mean, there's guilty. We've all done it.
Totally.
We've all had those days where we're like, God, I hate this.
It's a miracle I'm even here.
Right. Yeah. You're lucky I get pants and shoes and socks on. Like, I'm here.
Yep.
Present. Fake smile. Couple blinks. Let's go.
Thank you for doing that for the audio.
Yeah.
The audio listeners. Fake smile. Couple blinks.
So I get to go back and forth. I'm a huge fan. So I get to go back and forth. Sometimes I get to watch. Sometimes I'm just listening because sometimes it's like either in my car because I live in the country. So I drive to and from. I'm always on the highway. So this is great. Like, so I know like, and I'm like, God, I wish I could see their faces right now. Like, I wish that my phone would let me. I wish my smart car would let me like see their faces.
Right?
Like,
Pop it up on the screen.
I want to see it on my infotainment center. And it's like, no, you're driving.
Okay, so we touched on food, but we can kind of go back to it, I guess. People who struggle to find a routine, and both with working out and with eating well, what advice do you have to people who are trying to get into a routine? Like maybe they're so busy, everybody says that.
Everybody's busy.
I feel like you're going to say no excuses.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say the best way to change your lifestyle, to make positive changes, is to get a brand new clean notebook. I know this is going to sound so old school, but I am a notebook and I love me some color markers. Girl, love me some color markers. I got a bag of them everywhere. I love color coding things. Sit down and write down on one page all the things, your favorite things to eat. And then write down on the opposite page all the things you hate eating. All right? You have those two things in front of you, right? Find some sort of regular routine in your diet that makes sense to you. If it's intermittent fasting, make the timing that you eat follow a timing that's realistic, that you can sit down and make yourself a healthy meal. Or you can grab your meal prep from Sunday. You know, you've prepped out your 5-6 days of food and you can go breakfast, lunch, dinner, or something like that. My little organizing color-coded pencil self would love to meal prep. And I love the idea of it, and I never do it.
Yep.
But there are things that I always have on hand at the house that I know that I can eat if I'm craving something that I know I shouldn't eat, if I need to eat something, outside of a time. I do intermittent fasting. That's what I've found that works best for me. So if there's something that I want to do outside of the time zone that I'm supposed to eat, I have like specific things that I'll do. I will drink 2 glasses of water. So 32 ounces, period, done. Has to be done within 15 minutes. 32 ounces in 15 minutes. That's just one of my things. And I'm not hungry after that. Like I'm not craving wanting to go to the bakery and get a pastry or something like that. So it's being realistic with what you like to eat and what you don't like to eat. And, you're going to have to omit the unhealthy things. Like if pork rinds are your favorite go-to snack, like it's just probably not good for your cholesterol.
You might just once in a blue moon.
I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm just saying don't have it every day.
There you go. Moderation.
So it's like, and like it goes back to everybody is different. So every diet's going to be different.
Right.
Like nobody wants to eat boiled chicken, steamed broccoli, and brown rice every day. No one wants to eat that every day. There are people that do it and they are disciplined and angels. Like I am not a disciplined person when it comes to food. I mean, you can make me break my fast with a piece of cheesecake in a hot second. Like
no problem.
No problem. Yes. I shouldn't have said cheesecake.
Katie's behind the camera now going, We're all going to get cheesecake after that.
It's hard though. It's hard not to snack. It's hard not to, especially if you have littles and you have kids. It's hard not to, I'm going to finish their chicken nugget and mac and cheese, even though I just ate my meal. Like you don't need that.
Yep.
You just ate. There's no reason for that. Like it's discipline. It's just telling yourself, no, I don't need it. A handful of nuts. I mean, an avocado.
Yeah. And I've just found for me, I used to be a big snacker. And again, before I was doing whenever I was in high school and stuff, I could just eat anything.
Yeah.
I wanted. Nothing ever made me think about what I was eating. And I've just found that if I'm just make an effort to be slightly mindful, that makes all the difference. And also if I get a craving for something, around my period or something like that, I need to just... You have
to feed that.
Yep, because I'm the one, I will be...
We're going to hyper-focus on it.
Oh my God, well, I'll be a day out for my period. I'm like, I want Taco Bell, and I won't get it. And then 3 weeks later, I'll go to Taco Bell and get food for $6. It's
and sit quietly in your car and enjoy every bite of it.
Way too much.
Yes, ma'am.
Versus, if
I know that.
Gone,
yeah.
I would get 1 quesadilla and be so content.
Yeah, but then the hyper-focus turns to overeating, and you don't need it. So be graceful with yourself. Give yourself love. And if you find love in a Krispy Kreme donut, amen, sister, enjoy it.
Amen, sister.
Yes, enjoy it. But yes.
And so to pare the food back, I mean, I think it goes without saying, fueling your body in a clean, healthy way obviously impacts your fitness routine in a positive way.
It does. It really does. It's you're gonna have those gains faster if you change your food, you change your diet. And I'm, like I said, I'm not a big diet fan. I love the people that are lifestyle ketos. Fantastic. I think that is super awesome for you. However, there is nothing better than a slab of salted butter and a French baguette.
Yes. Also, Katie just goes,
yeah, because butter is a dip. We discussed this.
Those butter boards that are trending,
right?
I want one so bad.
Know. Well, let's have a butter board night where I'm down.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's just, it's being kind to yourself too. And it goes back to that, food is fuel. It's not a reward because you did 45 minutes of cardio and 2 hours of weightlifting. And then you went and did hot yoga for 90 minutes. That's physically your body's going to shut down at some point. You know, you might be able to do that for a little while, but after a certain point, like your body's going to start to eat fat. You're going to start to smell funny. That's the first thing. First sign. You start smelling funny. Like you need to stop. We need to change things.
Really?
Yes.
Like whenever your body's worn down, you start to like.
So once your body,
Oh my God, you're like literally decaying.
Yes.
Shit.
Yes.
Y'all.
Yes, because your body is just like it has to find its fuel.
I'm so shook. I'm just
like,
picturing.
And your fuel is stored in your fat, typically, unless you burn it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I'm about to go smell like everyone I know. You're over-exercising.
Sniff test.
Smell weird.
You can see it on a person, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can physically see it, and then when you're next to them, you're like, I don't smell their perfume. I don't smell their natural... Like, everybody has a natural pheromone kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Either they smell lovely or they don't.
Oy. Y'all, I didn't know that happened to me.
Yeah. It goes back to science. Like, you started... Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Some people are releasing things.
So piggybacking off of the food, how does alcohol affect your fitness routine? Is it just hindering it?
Yeah. That's what I have other moms that are just like, Bree, help me. I want to get rid of this. And I'm like, stop drinking. I can't. And I'm like, why? Why can't you? Why can't you stop drinking? I just need it because I'm stressed out. I'm a teacher. I do this, I do that. And I'm like, okay, well, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Instead of making a cocktail or drinking a beer, go for a walk. Drink a glass of water.
Man. Is it J-Lo? She doesn't drink, right? Isn't that her whole thing?
Well, I'll say after the second baby, I knew that my 40th birthday was coming, and I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna be carrying around baby fat, turning 40. We're not doing that. No. So I started intermittent fasting, and my biggest thing was I really just don't drink. And I don't. Monday through Friday, I don't drink any alcohol at all. I drink black coffee or water. And then I occasionally have my fancy coffee, which is just, what is it? It's the almond milk. It's sweet and creamy. It's the almond milk, and it's the best.
Ugh.
It's got the lowest grams of sugar in it. And I'm like, I don't feel bad drinking the sugar, but it's like my favorite thing. Mm-hmm. And I'll usually do that as like an afternoon pick me up, but I'll put my collagen in it. So I'm getting some benefits from it.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm still like, yeah, make your Starbucks healthy. Put collagen in it. Put collagen in it. Yeah, all the 20-somethings out there, put collagen in it.
Boom. I'm about
Start
to
now.
Collagen like
Start now.
Today.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I just stopped, and I stopped drinking, and that was the first thing that helped drop the body weight. It wasn't a lot, but it was about 8 to 10 pounds, which was a good starting point for me to amp up more cardio, get back into adding weights into my routine. Mm-hmm. I'm not a real big weight person. I like body weight work, which is a lot of Pilates. But yeah, it's just, you got to find the changes that work for you, but alcohol definitely hinders. And I'm not saying don't go to the party and don't drink. Like, go to the party, have fun, drink, but don't drink Monday through Friday.
That's, the Monday through Friday thing, I think is such a attainable and good advice for most people. You know, if you have a regular schedule where your social events are happening on the weekends, like sometimes I'll be cooking and like, I love the experience of cooking with like a glass of red wine. Like I love it. But again, being more mindful, you know, if you have fitness goals, like just be mindful of that and be like, okay, do I have to have this while I'm cooking right now? Like, no.
Well, sometimes the wine needs to go in the food too.
True. Boil that baby up.
Yeah. So I just think it's it goes back to moderation. Yeah. It's, you know, and it's balance. And think of that as more of a reward, you know, versus like, I'm going to eat this cupcake because it just ran. Like, no, girl, eat the cupcake. The wine should be your reward.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That's, you know, treat it like that, because while I love to get a good old toe up from the flow up kind of night. I mean, I just find now that it's like,
Yeah.
I don't need it as often. It's not, like it's not necessary for me to enjoy and have a good time. Also like, how are you going to go and do your routine next day when you're hungover?
That's the worst part. Like, and I feel like there's going to be multiple other episodes about drinking because I feel like I'm just like on a drinking journey, like always, just trying to figure it out.
Well, it's a Savannah thing.
It is very hard to live in a drinking city and have self-control there. It's really hard.
It is.
But the worst part, other than, like the beer shits and, my pounding headache, like I hate myself whenever I have drank so much that I can't work out for 2 days because your whole routine is off.
Yep.
Like it's horrible.
Yep. Your body feels it too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alcohol is just really damaging. It's more damaging than I feel like it's worth. And I'm like, okay, we can do this every now and again.
Yep. Treat yourself. I like that.
Yeah. My birthday party was quite
Your birthday party was awesome.
2 days to recover.
You know what? That's okay. It was your birthday.
I was still kind of not good on Monday. And my party was on a Friday.
That's okay. I always say like,
no, it was
twice a year.
You only turn 41.
Right? Go ham. Okay, I have one more question for you before I have 3 questions from our listeners.
Okay.
What do you love about working in fitness? What do you love about your job?
My favorite thing is watching you change and grow. And I might cry saying this, but it really just lights me up inside. Because when I see you, say it's you, and I'm training you, and I see you do things that you couldn't do last week or that you told me you couldn't do. That's another thing. In sessions with me, we don't say F and we don't say can't. We don't do those 2 things because we're not those things. Yes, we can. It only works if you try.
I love it. So
watching the transformation, but not just physically, emotionally and mentally in a human being is so rewarding. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of like how psychologists feel when they feel like, okay, you may leave my sofa now.
Breakthrough.
You won. But I feel that way and watching you grow. And like I said, you couldn't do a full body push-up 2 weeks ago and you're doing 3. Impressive. Mm-hmm. 3 full body push-ups. That's impressive. Like, it's like, it sounds so minuscule to some people, but it's huge. Yeah. And it's victory for you. And just watching that. And I think watching people have confidence in themselves again and feeling good. And, I have one client, I love her. I've been training her for 7 years and she is just very informative about everything personal. And I love it, when her marriage is better because she's physically working out and she's doing this with me every day, or she's doing, she's spinning every day, or she's doing this. Like it's rewarding.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. I don't do it for me. I do it for you because that's what fills my cup. Mm-hmm. And to watch you not succeed makes me feel that failure as well. So yeah.
Oh, Bree.
Yeah. I could put you on top of the mountain, man.
Heck yes. You're like the best hype woman literally ever.
Well, I guess cheerleading background, I think.
Totally. Okay. I've got, I picked the 3 questions from my listeners. Okay. One of them made me laugh. But 2 of them I thought were pretty interesting.
Okay.
First one. Do you find it frustrating whenever someone isn't very receptive to being coached? Like, does that happen?
Yes, it does happen. And it happens more often than most people see and think. I'm pretty thick skinned, and I think that comes from food and beverage, where I'm just like, okay. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had people, get up middle of class and say, nope, not for me. I'm out. Oh my God. I can't do this. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't try. So clearly you're not here for the right reasons. And I just go back, it's like, you're here for the wrong reasons then. You know? So it's a reassessment for them. What's your why? You know? That kind of thing.
How do you deal with it? I mean, do you not fiddle with it until they are ready? I mean, I imagine you can't force them, you know? When you want to hear me, you will.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had some very resistant, clients in the past that even just trying to adjust your form, because form is so specific in bar and Pilates that if you're not in proper alignment and proper form to work your leader muscles that you're supposed to be focusing on, you can hurt yourself. And I'm not there to pick on you. I'm either there to assist you or to challenge you. And I'm not judging you. Like, that's just not my job. That's not what I signed up for. So I just, and I just kind of, sometimes you just got to pull the mic and you just got to say, I want to make sure you don't hurt yourself.
And who wouldn't listen to that? Like, come on.
And then, my next thing is like, are you, like eye contact. Eye contact's huge. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Like, can you feel this here? No? Okay, well, let's try this. That doesn't work. I'm just going to let you do. And I usually will, hey, let's chat after class.
Oh, I love that. Ooh.
And I can always, and I know that if I need to have a conversation with you after class, like, my go-to is I sit at the mats, because guess what? You got to put your mat up.
You're going to wait at the door. You can't get through me.
Oh, I'm a Scorpio. I will win.
I love this.
Yes. So I'll
God.
sit at the mats and I'll wait for you. And then, I might walk with you to the weight room to put your weights up and stuff, but we're going to chat.
You're not getting away.
Yeah. What's your goals? Why are you here?
See, and you
like,
don't.
what do you want to get from this class?
Right.
Those are my first 3 questions, that's what I want to know, because I can't help you achieve that if I don't know where your head is at. So, and they'll tell you flat out if they're there or not.
See, and that's very professional of you, and I love what you said. No coach, if you feel like you're getting corrected, they're not doing it because it's funny.
Or picking on you. No.
They're trying to help you.
Yeah.
It's their job,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, next question, and this one I think so many people have asked this. Why is it so hard to get abs?
Abs are made in the kitchen.
Oh, every time someone says that, you're like, no.
I say no too, because I've been working on abs forever. And my 6-year-old walks out looking like Spicoli, and he's got freaking 6-pack popping out, and I'm like, go away. Take your ass back in there. Go put your shirt on.
I mean, you can do as many ab workouts as you want, but until you're eating right, it's nothing. Man.
It's not nothing. It's not, I wouldn't say it's nothing. I would just say,
still, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, but if you want that ripped, chiseled abdominal look, it's the kitchen, baby.
Yep. Man.
I hope you like boiled chicken.
That's what the only time I've ever had. Well, after I got done with gymnastics, that shit will get you abs like no other. But
right, yeah. Well, that's just
those are those
core.
stacked kind of abs.
Yes.
You know, the big ones.
Yes,
they're not like the little cute V abs. No, those are serious.
Yeah.
But the only time I've had real abs, I was literally doing the brown rice whole thing, and it was teeny portions and stuff. And
yeah, you almost have to kind of keep it weighted. You have to weigh your food. You have to make sure that you're getting the right amount of calories. It's a balance between protein, vegetable, and grain, and it needs to be whole, clean foods all the time. And if you're not ready and regimented and disciplined for that, then enjoy the pony keg.
Then it ain't gonna happen. That's what I mean. I just think you have to decide. If you want them that bad, then you'll endure the suck.
You will. Yeah. Yeah. And once you you can reverse the ab thing. That's definite. That's just, but you have to literally do nothing after that.
Yeah.
And you just have to eat. I mean, you just have to go to grandma's house and eat all the time, for them to just go away.
Yeah.
But once you're there, you're there. They're not immortal. You have to continue to work them, you know, you have to give them love.
Right.
But yeah, once you've got it, you really don't lose it because you continue the routine. You can continue that abdominal routine, you know, and abs don't have to be on the floor. Like there's lots of different ways to really sculpt your abdominal wall and to really get it, you know, and you have to do those cross training things in order to get all angles of that chiseled look. So
the boxing, I did not expect for that to be such an ab workout, but in what clicked, you know, like whenever they teach you to kick, they're like, half of this is your core. You got to
kick from your body.
Yeah. And once that clicked for me, that's whenever the abs started coming in and I was like addicted. I was like, I don't want to eat like shit because like I look so good.
Good, right? Yes, I know.
And it's not all about looks, but for me, that was my goal and I did it. And you know what? I don't want it that bad anymore. I'm okay. I have a podcast about chips and dip. I'm okay on the abs.
I'm okay on the abs too. I'm like, it just goes back to, it's like, do I look good naked?
Yes. I love the way I look naked.
There you go.
It's fine.
And if you can say that about yourself, then I think you've already won the fitness battle.
Totally.
I don't care what your body type is. Like if you say that when you look in the mirror and you're naked and you love the way you look, good for you because you have conquered more than what most people can. So, yeah.
Okay, this was a question that kind of made me giggle. How do you lose weight in your face? This is what someone asked, and I was like, weirdly, like, I don't know the answer to that, so I'm going to ask. Are there face exercises? Or is that just
I mean,
like your
sure,
genetics?
yeah.
Like, is that possible?
I think it's just an overall, it is. It's just an overall body weight thing. It's
Right,
not
'cause it
really,
just
it's
come out.
not like, can you make my face skinny?
Katie's saying sometimes you gain weight. Like,
Well, that
in
is
your
true.
face first.
That is true. Yeah. Some people show their weight physically on their face,
Yeah.
their chest. And it's mostly women, not men,
Yeah.
that show their weight in their face and in their upper body. I've never been asked this question. I'm a little perplexed.
Right. I've never even thought about it.
Stop
really.
drinking alcohol?
Honestly, that's probably it. I'm thinking about whenever my face is
Because
like,
the only thing I think about is
swollen.
dehydration, and then you're retaining water. Your body needs that. So you might feel puffy.
stay hydrated, folks. Honestly,
Girl, drink water. When in doubt, just drink water.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and research face exercise. Maybe just like
Well, I know that there are certain things that you can do for like tightening your skin, reducing, you know, but like, I don't know. How do you lose weight in your face?
that's what I'm saying. I read this question and I was
The
like,
second
what?
best question of the day.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to add for our listeners about fitness?
I just think you need to just move. Like, just find some sort of movement that you enjoy, you know, and it doesn't have to be a group fitness class. It doesn't have to be at a gym. Nowadays, there's such a hybrid world of these fusion style things that you can do where we're not yoga, but we're not Pilates, we're not bar, but we're kind of a like marriage of all three, you know, and we're not HIIT, we're not core, and we're not cardio or whatever, like, but we're kind of a marriage of all three, you know, and it's find that joy for yourself, you know. And I think the biggest thing is just, you know, do what makes you happy, because life's too short not to, you know, because if you ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
I think it's too short to not be doing things that make you happy and to not be feeling good. You
Exactly.
know? Like, exercise
Exactly.
so that you feel good.
You feel good. Yeah. Yeah. Don't just look good, feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, find a realistic why, you know. That whole trend of what's your why, you know, kind of like, okay, no, Sally, we don't care.
No, Sally.
No. Live, laugh, love. Okay, keep going. Keep going. It's just like, all right. It's like, I love it. But at the same time, not to be negative. I'm not negative about that. Like, that's what works for Sally. Sally's simple Sally. She's good. Just let her be.
That's what works for her. It's not for us. Take that somewhere else. Okay.
But like, really think about what your why is. And, I kind of shared my why is me. I want to feel good. I want to wake up and feel good. I don't want to wake up in pain. I don't want to wake up and barely move. I did that. I was pregnant twice. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
There.
Good. Done. So, I just like, and then like, I want my kids to see, the positive things of having a routine and eating clean. And, my 6-year-old can tell you about protein and what it does for you and that he needs to eat protein and vegetables together. And like, okay, if he hasn't had any vegetables, mom might make me eat some extra vegetables tonight because I didn't have any at lunch today. It's just, I just want him to understand balance. And I want my children to understand that balance is part of life, and you can have both the things that you love and the things that you're not particularly crazy about, like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Which I'm crazy about Brussels sprouts though.
I love a nice little...
A good roasted. Ooh. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah, eat your vegetables, drink water. Live, laugh, love.
Oh, and on that note...
No, don't do that.
And move.
Move your body and, look good naked.
Heck yes.
We're just going to go back to that. Look good naked.
Good naked.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. It was an honor to be a guest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the end of our show today. I hope that y'all enjoyed that conversation. I thought that Bree was wonderful. I think that she was funny. She was like intelligent and she had like such like good information. And I personally feel like I have homework. I'm really excited. I'm going to go, mix up my fitness routine a little bit like we talked about. So, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think of the episode. If you love this episode, please leave us a 5-star review. I keep an eye on our Spotify ratings and you guys are showing us big love. So thank you so much. But new episodes drop every single Monday morning. We'll be back next week. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, all of the places you can get a podcast, or you can find us on YouTube. And you can follow the show at Chicks and Dip Pod on social media, and you can follow me at Lauren Wolverton. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.